Welcome to the Coaching Crew Show. I am your host, Charlie Kraus. With me is Devin Deans and Tantor, aka Phil. Each week we have 2 to 3 videos we cut about our take about the NFL and just different topics that we think are interesting. Hopefully, you already have liked and subscribed and you've commented away. So thank you again for watching. If you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe and comment below whether you agree with us or disagree with us. We appreciate the feedback and we try to keep it above the belt. So we'll see if you do the same. Today's topic, I believe a maximum or in the neighborhood of there will be 13 NFL teams next year with a starting quarterback different than the seasons that just finished. And that includes the cities of Baltimore and Green Bay will have a different starting quarterback. So I'm saying 13. So I'm going to set the bar, the Vegas line, Phil, at 9.5. Do you think next year's starting rosters for all the 32 schools above or below the 9.5 line of starting quarterbacks, different cities for the 2023 season?
Well, how are you going to define different ones? Are we going to talk about Washington? All right, Sam Howell started one game, and he's probably going to be the starter for Washington next year.
So that's
Is he going to
one
be
different.
different or the second?
So that's one different.
Yeah. So I mean, I would count that as different because the starting quarterback for Washington was, you could say, it was either Heineke or Wentz started the most games.
And that's
so
how
I would
that's
say
how
that
I'm grading
Sam.
it.
Yeah. So I would say that. But in LA, the guy that played the most this year was not Stafford. So if Stafford comes back next year, is he going to be a different one? I don't know. I don't know how you're going to grade that because they ended up with Baker Mayfield.
I consider Stafford still the starter. So if it's Baker,
okay,
then the next year Baker is a different one, but Stafford will be the traditional starter. So
I think you're going to have over on 9.5. You're going to have at least 10 because you've got a lot of quarterbacks that are bailing on their current teams. You've got teams that are bailing on their quarterbacks just to try something different. There's not a lot of guys hanging around and staying. We don't know what's going to happen with Tua. You don't know what's going to happen for the Jets. I mean, hell, you don't know what's going to happen with New England. I mean, they haven't decided they're going to keep Matt Jones. It's kind of crazy. I like him.
I do too. And he was not part of our 13.
And when your NFL best quarterback in the NFC in the Pro Bowl playing flag football is Kirk Cousins. Damn, there's 16 teams that should be looking for other quarterbacks. That's for sure. I mean, the only team that's setting quarterbacks next year in the NFC, quite frankly, is Philadelphia Eagles with Hurts. Everybody else should be looking for a new quarterback because if Kirk Cousins is the best, you got problems, dude.
Devin, 9.5, above or below?
I think it's going to be above by at least 3 or 4. Like, there's a lot of teams that I was looking at earlier this week that really, some of them are quarterback away. Other ones need to rebuild and draft a quarterback, and some of them have the stock to do it. And I really see a lot of changing in the quarterback rooms of all the teams around the NFL. So I would have to go with closer to 13 on it, just like you said.
All right. 3.5 months still out. Let's put the line at 5.5. First round picks, 5.5 is the line. Over or under of quarterbacks taken in the first round. I'm actually going to go under because I think it's going to be exactly 5. Devin.
I think I may go over on this one. I feel like the draft class for the quarterbacks are better than they have been. Most teams may think that the hype is really high on them, and compared to the last few years, we've seen a lot of quarterbacks go in the first round and they weren't anything. And this year, there's pretty good quarterbacks in the draft that could actually do pretty well and be like Phil's example of being a GM, 4 years and drop them. So I think there would be about 6 in the first round. So yeah, I would take over.
Bill, 5.5.
This is close because there's at least 20 GMs in the NFL that are complete freaking morons, and I wonder how they even keep their jobs. So they're going to probably draft quarterbacks. I mean, somebody's going to take that quarterback from Florida, Richardson, in the first round, and I'm going to laugh my tail off because his measurables are incredible. I've watched them play, and so has a lot of Florida fans. Gator fans will tell you about that one. So, and I mean, you know what I'm talking about. He couldn't throw it in the ocean standing on the beach. And I don't care what any excuses you want to give him. You want to blame his offensive teammates or anything else? No. The guy is not accurate at all. But somebody's going to take that dude in the first round. So I'm going over, but I not by much. I think there's going to be 6, maybe 7 drafted in the first round. But, I'm not sold on any of them. My favorite one's got a blown out knee. I like Hooker. I thought Hooker was great. I know some people disagree with that, but I thought he was the complete package. I think the Alabama kid, I know we'll have a video on this later. I think the Alabama kid is little, and I've seen him up close. He is small. Very. He's tiny. So, I mean, there's no surefire hits in this one. I hate to say it. It's going to be another coin flip as it is in the first round. It's a 50-50 chance on the guy you draft is going to be successful or not. Take your chances.
Interesting discussion we've had about the quarterback. I honestly think, and it sounds like it's consensus, next year is going to be a lot of new faces for some quarterbacks, both young and old, and to different cities. So it'll be really interesting if we play this video again come September 1. How do you think, Crew Nation? Are you agreeing with the assessment of 9.5 above or 9.5 below? And what about the draft, up or below 5.5? Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching.
Oh, I got a high school student that comes in at noon, and just does office junk. So supposedly somebody puked in the office in the waiting room. So they told the high school student to do it. So they took a 20-pound bag of cat litter that I had there for puke and poured the whole damn thing in the lobby. 20 pounds of freaking cat litter, man. It's like a beach.
The problem started with the phrase, so we made the high school student do it.
So they call me. It's you got to go up there. So the high school student's sick because she's dealing with puke. So I go up there. It's like, oh, man, look, a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. You don't have to use the entire 20-pound bag. So I've got a little dustpan, and I'm scraping up cat litter and throwing it in the trash can. And I go, damn, this stuff's hard. And I pick it up and I look and I went, who said this was puke? This is shit. Some kid had shit all over the floor. And they go, well, we didn't know what it was. You don't know the difference between puke and shit? I got a room full of shit now. All right, everybody got to go.